Well, it seems they all synced. So yeah, basically this is the demo. Hey yo, Victor here, and welcome back once again to my devlog. So in this video, I will be showing you my little proof of concept demo of a Pokemon Crystal multiplayer. It's not a finished script by any means, but what it basically allows you is to have like two players share the same map. They do not share anything other than you can see the other player inside the map. As you can see, if one player changes route, it will no longer be synced. Also, if they go to a different area, you won't be able to see them unless you are, of course, in the same room. You can also change your skin and things like that, but this is a basic demo. Okay, so I actually recorded this video, but it ended up being like 1 hour, and of course I had to edit it, but I just got lazy, and hopefully I can do it in one take. So one thing that actually got this project going was that I always wanted to do this for Pokemon Fire Red. So this is a little demo that I did just for, I didn't even test it. It was for Fire Red, and just like drawing a small player on top of the emulator UI. So it didn't go too far. I've got other trackers, but yeah, that one was the main inspiration because I saw a multiplayer mod made in Lua. So I started working at the Pokemon Crystal disassemblies because the thing is that this project was actually going to be a notification system, an alert system, similar to one I will be posting something around here, because I've got events and I wanted like story events to actually trigger stream like alerts. So let's say that rockets are in Mahogany, so if this bite actually has rockets in Mahogany, you would actually see like a small popover of a rocket team, and then once you defeated them, you would see like, you know, someone like shooting at a rocket, or you know, whatever, like Team Rocket flying around. That was the main idea. So I actually found out about this address. Each element here is actually a map element, so I'll show you in a minute. It was D4, D6. As you can see, every time I move, you can see this memory is changed. So if I change this for a 70, as you can see, it changes. So if I set it to 40, it changes too. So I just wanted to take this player. Sorry, I've got an AI camera and sometimes like it fucks up. Yeah. So I've got this player and I wanted to get this 40 bytes onto the second emulator and just paste it into object 12, because each of these lines is 40 bytes. So I'm just like copy pasting between emulators, basically. What happens if I set it to 54? Yeah, if I set it to 54, as you can see, the third offset of each element, because this is like 16, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. This from here to here is actually the player object, and this is the beginning of this NPC right here. So if I set it to, what is my code? A 00, was it? Yeah. If I set it to 00, as you can see, will it change? Yeah. So we just changed the skin of this NPC. But what happens if we have two emulators and we just want to exchange them? We can do this. Let me show you the code so that you get an idea. Basically, I've got one instance of the emulator. I'm getting its PID once I run it. This is the process ID. And I'm getting the process ID of the second emulator. And what I'm doing is that in order to see better which one is the second player, I'm changing colors. If I were not to change colors, I would see them just like this, the same. But just for the sake of you know, getting an idea on who is who, we will be changing colors. So change colors. I am not syncing offsets 4 and 10 just because offset 4 actually crashes the game. Oh my god, what just happened? You just zoomed in, right? God, I hate this camera. I'll be doing a video about this because I am actually automating this camera with a TV remote controller, but that's a story for another video. So I am not syncing offset 10 because it also moves the camera. If I remove it from the offsets here, as you'll be able to see, if I move my player with one, also exchanging offset 10, as you can see, the camera also moves along. So I do not want that, of course. So I'm just creating a new instance of my EmuHook library. Now EmuHook is a small library. I still haven't released it, but it basically allows you to track memory from various emulators. And I am having a routine that executes every 0 milliseconds. It's actually every 16 milliseconds. But basically what it does is that it syncs the data between both emulators. So I'm getting the map ID from the first emulator. If we go to C2D8 from the decomp, well, maybe not here, Pokémon Crystal RAM map, and we go to Glitch City, for example. Oh, maybe we do not have the offset for the map, or maybe we do not have this offset, but we for sure will have this one. Yeah, the room the player is in is actually the 148. So unless both emulators are dealing with the same room, I'm not exchanging data. Let's go back here. So once the map for the first emulator and the map for the second emulator are the same, and the room for the first emulator and for the second emulator are the same, I am syncing those 40 values. So otherwise I am just cleaning the memory. So if they do not match, I just clean the 40 addresses. So I'm writing a 0 to D6B6 to both emulators, like 40 bytes. Okay, so if they do match, what am I doing? So if it's one of the offsets that I do not want to share between both emulators, because we talked about that, they do crash the emulator or they do have unintended effects, we are not syncing that, we're just continuing. If the change color address, which is the offset 7, and I do have, oopsie, I think I set it to follow me, well, whatever. If the offset, and if I set it to change color here, and the offset is 7, I am actually writing a 5 to offset 7. So let me show you real quick. Basically, as you can see, if I open up memory viewer and we go to D46 and we change offset 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I set it to 0, our player skin is red. If I set it to, was it this one? Yeah, it's now blue, green. There are a few colors, then they start going back around. So basically that's the offset that changes the color. And after that, what I'm doing is that I am writing to the second emulator the values that are actually in D4D6. So D4D6 is the player struct, and I'm writing those in object 12. So if we get a calculator and we go to 40 bytes, it's 40 bytes times 12. It's 1E0. So if 1E0 plus D4D6, D6 B6. So the first offset of object 12 in the map is actually D6 B6. So we are writing D4 D6 to D6 B6, D4 D7 to D4 D6 B7, and so on 40 times. So it's just I think it was clear. I'm not gonna explain it more because it's not otherwise going to be too long of a video. But basically, yeah, I'm changing that. So let's go with the real meat. So this part actually has 8 emulators running at the same time. We've got GSE, Bithawk, Gambate Speedrun, or however you want to call it, BGB64, MGBA, Visual Boy Advance Link, Visual Boy Advance the hack branch, like the hacking specific version, and Visual Boy Advance re-record, if I recall correctly. This was usually used for making tasks. This is mainly for doing Pokemon speedruns and whatnot. And also Gambate Speedrun is like the specific version for doing Pokemon speedruns. So I'm just spawning, or registering each and every instance that I'm registering here. So I'm making an array of the process IDs. I'm also syncing data like in the previous example, but this is like a bit more complex because I'm just exchanging data between all 8 emulators. So without further ado, let's like compile this script. So let's try to run them and sync them. Hopefully they sync. Sometimes it's difficult for them to sync. So hopefully they all synced. Maybe not. Yeah, we can see one emulator there. Well, it seems they all synced. So yeah, basically this is the demo on all of them syncing together. If we like get into the, as you can see, it's not without bugs. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we've got all 8 emulators synced at the same time. If we just close one, for example, let's see which ones are, yeah, the ones that actually move. Yeah, I'm gonna like close these two too. So yeah, you don't know how difficult it is to actually sync the emulators, even though we have only 5 now. But yeah, let me show you that if one player actually goes away, you won't be able to see him. And if he comes back, you will be able to see him. So yeah, this is basically, I mean, you can also fly to other, let's do a demo on this with only 2. So I'm just going to fly to, for example, Goldenrod. So that you can see that you actually can be in different areas. So if I go inside and I do heal my Pokemons, I can just come inside and Oopsie. Oh yeah, this is a bug. This is the bug that I wanted to actually address, which actually has to do with interactions. So if I am to interact with any NPC, if I press A, as you can see, this player actually got TP'd to here, and in this emulator, like they displaced. And why is that? Well, that has to do with how the game actually handles memory. It's fixed. One of the players actually goes out of a building and goes back in, but it's not ideal. I did another script that actually deals with this, but I didn't like it too much. So let me show you that one. So you'll notice that here, even though I interact with other things, nothing will happen. So I can just go talk to this guy and oopsie. Yeah, you see the players do not get misplaced, but the movement is like not really smooth, so I ended up discarding this version because I didn't like too much. I mean, it works the same, but it calculates. I'll show you in a minute, and I'll show you why this happens. So in case someone has an idea on how to fix this, I'm actually interested in this. So let's just open up one emulator. But basically what happens here is that if we go to the player main address, which is D4D6, and we go to automatic update, go, we actually do care about D4E6. So you'll have to watch at this 1, 2, 3, 4 addresses. As you can see, they change. If I move up, well, if I move to the left, it decreases. If I move to the right, it's increased. And also the same happens to these two. If I set it to like 0, 0, or to 40 or 80, whatever, the player is moved. So if I move to this place, but I press start, for example, look at this 10. It's been reset to 40. And I think that position is actually relative to the map. If we go to D4E6 is relative to the map struct, including borders. And D4ED, which is actually the memory address that changes, is relative to the BG map in PX. So I do not know how they change. So maybe really clear for someone, but it is not for me. So as you can see, I've got a 6090 and I've got a 0E, 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 and if I press start, these values actually didn't change. It is still 0E, but you see that these two actually changed. So that is the main problem that I had, and how I fixed it. What I did was I made this function that actually calculates relative to each of the emulators. So this is not without its flaws, but it is able to actually calculate the offsets based on the current instance of the emulator. I know this may be too technical, but well, this is job for another video, or if you want to like help me improve it or whatever. But yeah, basically this is the proof of concept that I wanted to share with you. I also wanted to say thank you because the Pokemon Home, like the Pokemon Bank video, got really good reception. Also, when I shared the first demos of this multiplayer mod, like people was like really excited, and it was like really motivating to see that. So I've got nothing else to say other than thank you for following the channel. I will be posting more non-Pokemon related content. I will be doing another video on how to control your webcam and your OBS with a TV remote. But yeah, I've got a few projects that I'd like to make a video of. I've also been like playing around. I'm going to show you a small sneak peek about a multiplayer real-time map for Warrior Land 4. It's mostly used for speed running, mainly for time attacks and things like that. Whoopsie, view 2x, yeah. Well, as you can see, you've got both players synced to the same emulator, and you can just like move them around like a Mario Maker thing. You do also get like the distance between both players if they are like too far, which is also difficult to do now. But basically we can just like activate this and maybe just like drop them around, and I can also do the same here, like just enable this thing and like having go around here and put it inside. So yeah, this is like a small demo. It's like a crazy script that I did. I've been adding more and more maps. It's not complete yet, but as you can see, I've got a few maps mapped here. So yeah, hope you like this kind of content. I've been receiving quite some positive feedback. I've been enjoying doing these videos, although sometimes it drives me mad because it's actually really tedious to actually get a great video out, because most of the time I end up doing the video and just, you know, deleting it because I do not feel like it's something worth to watch. But other than that, yeah, hope you are enjoying the content.